Right, and let's see, are we working? I think so. Rushing about as always. Over there, I think we might be. Give us a thumbs up if it's working, because you're here before I am tonight, so hopefully that means it's working. I'm coming through. Evening, Peter, Paul, Pete and Stella. Good evening, evening. I trust we're all well. Let me know. Anyway, just going all very, very fuzzy. Just bear with me a minute while I see if I can change some settings here. Hang on a moment. Playback speed, quality. No, what am I looking for? A setting here somewhere that I changed to make it look a bit sharper. I can't remember which one it is. Bear with me. Is it this one? No. Okay. No, it looks like it stopped altogether. Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? I don't know if I've done anything or not. Anyway, hopefully it's coming through loud and clear. Do let me know. Evening, Phil. Give us a thumbs up thing under the video if it's working. I think it's gone a bit fuzzy. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's just fuzzy up my end. Anyway, right, yeah, sorry for no video earlier in the week. It's been one of those weeks after a busy auction where every day's been a bit hectic with people coming to collect their goodies, and including in the evenings, which is great because it's nice to have a good old chinwag with people and have a bit of time to have a cup of tea and a chat. As I've said several times, that's why this way of auctioning things is slightly more relaxed from my point of view, in as much as I actually have time to speak to people, which is really nice when they come and visit and pick their stuff up, drop stuff off, etc. But it does kind of take the whole week up, and I don't get much done. And yeah, people have been coming in the evenings when I was going to do live streams. So never mind, we're here now. All okay here. Yes, thanks, Peter and Phil. Excellent, good stuff working. So I had quickly today, I went over to the containers and took some quick snaps of the stuff that will be in the auction on the 18th, isn't it? No, 16th, 18th of June, that's it. Sunday the 18th. He says, look at the website quickly. Thomas's clearance stuff. So if I scroll through some of these pictures, so all this stuff is all to go, there's no reserve. So as you can see in this one, there's some Sega Victories at the back. I think there's 4 of those. If I just bring up, my broadcast picture is quite small. Just bear with me a tick while I bring up a bigger picture for myself to look at, so I can tell you what's in the pictures, if that makes sense. Let's just do this in the background. There we go, that's a bit better. Yes, there's 4 Victories there. They are on 1p. And then I think there's 6 copper Segas, the high tops in front of them there. Wooden sided. And they're all on old pennies still, which is quite nice. I think all bar one is locked, but they did seem to be working miraculously. They're sat there for 50 years. Stick a penny in, pull the handle, and they do seem to be running. I will try and get them unlocked. The absolute worst, I've drill locked out, I guess, which seems a bit of a shame, but I've got a few spare keys. I'll take them down next time I go and try and get them open. Hidden treasure there, old penny. Cascade is obviously on new 1p. Clocks will probably be 3 clocks, I think. So yeah, so that's those. What else have we got? Let's have a look. I'll do a picture at a time, then I know what I'm looking at. Yes, this is rather lovely. Hoopla stall. We've only got the bottom shutters and the top roundings, but it's the post office game stall, which was quite a popular thing back in the day. I'm not entirely sure how the game worked, but we'll try and find out a bit more. But lovely artwork on this. I can't remember if this is 6 or 8 section. But as I say, sadly, there's no upright, no frame. All we've got is the bottom shutters and the top rounding boards, but they're all painted in this kind of style. Very nice. We're going to try and sell it in one lot. If it doesn't make, it'll probably be the only thing that will be reserving, just to make sure it tries to get a sensible price to try and keep it together. If we can't get a price for it in one lot, keep them together, then they might get split up and put in a future sale. I don't know. I'll have a word with them about that and have a little bit of plan of action. So that's that. It's rather nice. The Drinking Babies. This machine sat in the arcade in Dunstanton for many, many years. I think they probably had it new or very nearly new. It's what I wanted playing as a kid, and I tried to buy for many, many years, along with many other people. It did at one point have a sign on it, "This is not for sale, don't even ask," or something like that, I recall. It's got a rather amusing note in it at the moment for when it was last in the arcade, which they got it down as an Aaron's 1912. Well, it's Walton's 1956, I think. I think mine was dated 1956. Mine went to Watermouth Castle. But yeah, 50s anyway. And my one was always super, super, super reliable. Never ever went wrong. I had it in various arcades when I was operating on both Old Penny and later on 50p. Never went wrong once. Brilliant machine. In the bottles in these, instead of being liquid, they're blocks of wood, so it gives the illusion of the milk being drunk. So it goes down as you're racing them. Much better than the original 20s one, which leaked like hell. I've got one of those, the iron cased one. I think there's 3 known. There's one in America. I think there's 2 here, which are, yeah, a lot more unreliable. There we are. So that's that. That's rather nice. A Greyhound Stadium Totalizer. We sold one of these before, which I think came from there in the last batch I sold for Thomas's. Obviously, a conversion of the Brooklands Racer. Very, very nicely done. The so the 3 concentric discs that make the reels on the top have on top of the originals very nicely engraved stainless steel, shiny stainless steel with greyhounds in them instead of the cars which are underneath presumably still. And that back flash there where it says Greyhound Stadium Totalizer, that again is just screwed onto the original cast plate at the back, so you could easily take them off and put it back to cars. But I don't know who did these conversions, but they're obviously very well done properly by somebody. So yeah, it's quite nice. That's on Old Penny. Weighs an absolute ton. The forerunner, of course, to the BDR, the Bread Bin Bandit that we just sold at the weekend. So that's quite interesting. Segas and Sega clones. So we've got Mad Money / Money Matadors. They're, as per usual, they're all a bit of a mix-up. We tried to put get the right mechs into the right cabinets, but notice that some of them have got Money Matador and Mad Money symbols on the same reel bundles inside, so it's quite interesting. I think there's two Sega Mad Moneys. There's the one at the very end is a Payback star, quite an unusual one, don't see very often. And then the other ones are, I think, the 6 Sega clones, the JCW ones, mostly, I think they are. So yeah, some of them need bits, some seem to be roughly complete. Some need back bonnets and back doors. They are what they are, so I'll try and describe them carefully, obviously, and photograph them next week. So yeah, good projects for people. But just as they've sat in store, again, some are on Old Penny, some are on 1p. A bit of a mix of those. A rather lovely Wonders Big Wheel. That's the only Allwyn. We sold the others 5 or 6 years ago, whenever it was, we sold the other big lot for them. I don't know how we managed to miss this one at the time, but we did. So yeah, Wonders Big Wheel, giant Allwyn, fairground theme obviously on the background. Rather nice. Old Penny. We've got cash box keys. We haven't got a key for the top one. It's locked at the moment, but seems to be working. So again, I'll see if I can find a key that will fit out of my bundle. So that's Wonders Big Wheel. Some Bally's in yes, slightly dishevelled state, you might say. I haven't tried to figure out which hopper and mech will. I think there might be some spare ones, but there are some others. I think there's 9 Bally's, assorted different ones. A bit more there. The Segas. So the first two on left are Segas. The next 2 are JCW ones, I think. A few more. Some of these are on Old Penny, and some are on New penny, as I said. I don't know how long they operated them for. Interesting, there's nothing on 2p, for example, so I guess maybe mid-70s, something like that. Obviously, they didn't all get converted. Presumably, they bought some of the Bally's were probably new, because I think they're on 1p as well. Some taller Bally's there. What ones have we got? Anything notable? You know, some have got the new pence flash on the bottom, so they were clearly very early 70s. And then what we've got, Lucky Twins with the changes on top. So yeah, I'll de-tape these and see. I think it looks like we've got several real bundles spare on these Bally's. I'm not entirely sure. There we go. A couple of aristocrats. Arcadians, I think there's only 2 of these, both on 1p. They've got keys with them, but I can't get them unlocked at the moment, so where they just need a bit of squirt of oil in the locks, hopefully, because the keys are, you can probably just see on the handle there, the keys were tied on them, so I'm assuming they're the right keys. A couple of them, always sell. I think it's just an empty bandit cabinet, this one, this Mills cabinet. Hang on, I've lost my place. Where have I got to? Penny Bell. That one's an empty cabinet. It's got its back bonnet though, which is good. I think there's a Mills mech as well. Probably all go together, I suppose, bundle it up. I don't know, I'll see. Another one of the twins. What else have we got? Some more of these Seegers. I think there's about 40 machines altogether, basically 40 sort of whole machines, all very nearly whole. Now that I've sorted them out. And there might be a couple of odd, I think there's a couple of cabinets, 1 or 2 cabinets and 1 or 2 mechs sort of spare. They don't, you know, don't quite match up. It's one of the Victories. They've all good glasses in the front of them. I do like that kind of 60s kind of slab front look. They're quite good. Seem to be working, seem to be there. A few Fairground bits. We didn't, with a sort of tea chest full. Which you didn't know what was in until we had a good rummage around. It turns out there's some photos a bit stretched, but I think there's 4 of these nice Duffield Tottenham up little signs. Rather nice, always popular, a little bit of Duffields. Some bingo boards, hand painted bingo boards, they're quite nice. And some rings of blocks. There's quite a lot of blocks. There's sort of, I think there's about half a tea chest full of blocks. A big set, different heights, and a load of rings there. You can see a whole box full of rings, so a complete sort of hoopla's worth of rings and blocks. And then there was a few roll down boards as well. And there might be some other bits and bobs in the bottom of the tea chest. I don't know. I didn't tip it all out. So there we are. Paul, no wonder you've got a bad back moving that lot. Yes. I'm not going to bring all that lot home. That's all going to stay in the containers to sell. So what I'm going to do, Monday's job is to photograph this lot, or a good chunk of it, and start getting it listed. And I will probably do, if anybody wants to come and view it, I'll probably be there. So the containers are over at St Ives, Cambridgeshire, near Huntington, if you know Cambridgeshire. So about half hour from here, if you've been home here. Perhaps the Saturday before the auction. Be there for a couple of hours if anybody wants to come and view. It's a bit tricky because obviously it's all high security and electronic gates and everything else, so it's a bit of a faff to get in when I'm already in there, if you see what I mean. But we'll sort something out if you want to come and view it. But yeah, so I'll try and do good descriptions of what's there and what isn't, so you know what you're getting. And then for July auction, July the whatever it's going to be auction, The 30th, so the next vintage amusement auction, i.e. the next one you can put stuff in. We've got the steam engine. I'll find a bit more details about that, which didn't go in this last one. Just trying to find a little bit more history and some details on it. And then we've got another one of Pete Barson's models. Rather fun one, this one. Another kind of drunken dreamy type one. That's good action in this one. I'll film it as usual, but yeah, it's quite good. I like this one. It's quite funny. I think he might be a bit of an alcoholic. He might have a bit of a drink problem, I think, this chap, as you'll see when it's up and running. So one of those, and then a very rare thing, which should cause a bit of excitement and hopefully some controversy. A Hitler shooter. I don't see one of these every day. A very nice painted cabinet. Painted with clowns, because of course these were converted from clown shooters. Very appropriately, really, with Hitler stuck in him. So there's a cast iron Hitler, and you shoot his teeth out. And there's 2 or 3 around that have aluminium Hitler heads in them. They were actually copied from this machine back in the 70s. The head was taken out of this machine. And either John Hayward or Clive, one of the two, copied the heads, and yeah, so this is a real one, as it were. So hopefully that should cause a bit of interest. So lovely painted cabinet. Don't know who did it. It's very reminiscent of Duffield's work, actually. Duffield did paint a few machines. There may well be a Duffield paint job on it. Just the style and that characteristic board with the straight lines and the kind of the wiggle and the straight line and the wiggle. I can't really show you one here, but you'll see in the close-ups. And the airbrush work. And there's several done by them. There's a punch ball around. There's postcard vendor or 2. I think a crane, I think I've seen sometime over the years. So obviously we're probably all together in the same arcade, because they're all the same colour as well, this kind of creamy background. And overall kind of golden colour. So yeah, nice machine. So there we are. So that's where we're at with all of that lot. I'll just play this, let them run around again. So yeah, good stuff, eh? So I think the Thomas & South says I think there's 40 machines. Now I've sorted out what kind of goes with what, and hopefully got the mechs in the right cabinets and so on. And that is 2 weeks' time, believe it or not. So I've got next week to get it catalogued and photographed. So then this weekend I'm out and about delivering, and whilst I'm delivering to people, I think I've got about 15 or so stops or something like that over the 2 days, all over the place. Some of those collectors are sending stuff back in for the next auction as well, so we'll do some more, some nice bits and bobs coming in for July auction. So again, I'll take some quick little snaps of those, and I should, all being well, depending on the traffic, I should be back Sunday night in time for Sunday night's video as usual, and I'll have hopefully some snaps then of some more bits and bobs that are going to be in for the end of July auction. And then of course before that auction we've also got the spares. Some more spares coming today. In the past couple of days there's some Bandit mechs, some Bolan's stuff. I think that was here before. I think I mentioned it, the little flashes from the front of the Bolan's conversion machines, your favourite and things, and I think there's a was there like an Indian head or an Oscar and things like that. There's some Bally spares, fortunately, because some Bally's in the auction. What else have I moved? A couple of Bandit cabinets. It's Mills dagger handle I noticed in a bundle of stuff. Yeah, some good bits anyway. There's Berrimat case side handle and whatnot. If you're doing a bearing mat up, that would be useful for you. So yeah, some good stuff actually. Some Allwyn spares hopefully coming in as well. So that should be a good sale. And then of course there's all the books and magazines. For the middle of July, all the coin op stuff, which is heaps and heaps and heaps of. So it's all go. Busy, busy, busy. There we are. So then next week as well, I should be around Cambridge pretty much all week. I've got a couple of little jobs to do around and about, but more or less around all week. Can't get everybody in this weekend. It's delivery trips, but I've contacted everybody. So in theory, we should be doing a trip up north, I think, on the 9th, I think. And then West Country on the 15th, I think, something like that, I think I said. You'll know if I've contacted you about them, of course. Can't really fit any more stops in, but if you are either up north or down southwest and have got stuff to come in for the next auction, get in touch. And if you're not far off the route, because the route's already something like 600 and 700 miles or something crazy, but if you're pretty near to route, or maybe we can meet somewhere pretty close on route, then you know, perhaps we can stick them in the back of the van. So just get in touch in that case. There we are. Any questions, anybody? Any questions, any comments, any bright ideas? Fire away. We'll have a mouthful of tea. And yeah, as you can see, I've got my work cut out. But all good. And then there's another collection. A chap phoned me on Monday, I think it was, so just after the auction. He's going to have a big clear out. Probably about 30, 40 machines and some other stuff. So again, a sort of another single collector, single owner auction. That'll probably be later in the summer. Because the chap's on holiday at the moment. Once he's got himself back and sorted out, and I've got time and space to go and have a look and get it all fetched in, etc. So maybe, I don't know, August, September, probably something like that, I guess. Yeah, busy, crazy, but it's all good. Auction payouts for anybody who sold stuff Sunday. I will do those Monday. We should have everything in because there's a few people paying cash over the weekend as I'll drop the bits off to them. So in theory, by Monday we should have all the monies in. I'll do pay run on Monday. So if you sold stuff, if I haven't already got your bank details, if I've not paid you before, then just get in touch sometime and let me have them so I can pay you out. Marvellous. What else do I need to tell you? I think that's it. So say Sunday night, be back with a video as usual, hopefully, as long as the traffic's okay. With some more snaps of some stuff that's been consigned across the weekend. And perhaps another little vintage video or two. We haven't done any of those for a week or so. We've been a bit busy with other stuff, but there we are. Marvellous. I think that's it. I'll bid you all farewell. Have a jolly weekend, whatever you're up to. I will see some of you across the weekend. So look forward to that. And we'll convene again on Sunday night. Right, that's it. I'm off. I need some dinner. Nighty night.